Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. So, last time I kind of got most of the extras done. I was going to draw some expressions. I think I'll still do that. And I was kind of figuring out how I wanted to lay out the sheet. Anyway, before I go back into over here and work on those, still need to figure out what the third one's going to be and if I still like the way everything's looking there. I want to, let's see here. I want to draw some shoes. And the background is very bright. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick a random neutral gray for now. So this way I can see a little bit more clearly while I am drawing a thing. Okay, we'll get rid of the strokes for now. I will add them back a little bit later. But I have decided that I will indeed draw some close-ups of the shoes here. Okay, so where did I put the sole of her shoe here? It's around here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Let me make my layers here. I want to do front, side, and back. Okay. And this way they can... It'll be quite clear what's going on here. Alright. Then I just wanted to take a quick look at everything again. Yeah, I think everything else is looking alright. I think it should look pretty good once I kind of figure out how to put everything together and get everything drawn. So I'm actually going to start with the side. Just because I think that the side of a foot is the easiest part to draw. And I'm going to try to make it roughly the same size as this. I guess strictly speaking, this will not be foot size relative to each other, just an arrangement that I think will look nice. And to do that, I'm going to draw some lines here using my line tool so I can get them perfectly straight. Just gonna run it all the way across the top and the bottom, and that's gonna be the space that I use to put these other views in. Okay. So this is about how big I want it. The side will be the biggest one. So we'll have the top of the ear here. Little pointy bit coming out there. And how exactly do I plan to have those sit on her foot? This is exactly why I figured that it'd be a good idea to actually draw this part out, and I do think that they're actually straight. So it goes straight down like this and into foot. It is a sharp angle with a slightly raised toe here. I don't think I made it quite long enough, but, you know, I can get the proportions right in a second here. It's all good. And then we have these tiny little cat ear shapes there, and it goes just down into the back. So this is going to be a sharp angle at first, and then it kind of slopes a little bit more gently into the back. Something like this. Something like this. I want this angle to be sharper. I want there to be a clear difference between where the little ear parts stick up and the rest. So I want the beginning to be very, very sharp. And then the rest to just be very smooth until it's flat in the back. There we go. Something like this. Okay. Am I happy with this thickness? I don't think I am, actually. So let's pull this outward. I think I want the toes to be a little bit smaller. Madoka feet are tiny. Everything about them is pretty tiny, honestly. They are so blobby. Alright. So I have this kind of shape here. And I do need to make the toe a little bit lower. The toes are quite large, definitely larger than what her actual toes are, but they're not quite that large. So maybe like to here. And then the toes come up. And we go down. And this will include the white sole here. I'm just getting the shape of the entire thing. I always find it a little bit easier to do it this way. And then the heel, I believe, goes a little bit above the toes. They're more even than they are in an actual foot just because of how high this toe is and how kind of loose they are. And then I bring it down and we have something like this. Toe is definitely rounder, but I just wanted to get things started here. As always, I tend to like to just plop something down and then carve a shape out of it. I find that to be a little bit easier than getting it right the first time, I guess. That is my personal taste. Okay. So this is the kind of shape that I'm going for here. I'm just gonna smooth everything out there. I should zoom into 100% to get this at actual size. So that this way I'm not refining it at a distance that people may not be looking at. I figure when people are looking at this, they're either going to see it like this, you know, all of it at once, or they're going to be seeing it like this at 100%. So those are the two views that I care about the most, and sometimes I zoom in a little bit closer just to kind of help me see what I'm doing. I just find it easier to work that way because I like to get things like super smooth. And I have no manual dexterity, so it's fine. You can achieve smoothness even when you're clumsy. It's wonderful. Okay, let's get the shape of this ear in here. I'm gonna zoom in a little closer for the very top of this. I'm having trouble seeing the point out at 100% here. Perfect. Okay. All right. And then it just kind of straight down here. And there's a little shape out there for the heel, just a little one. It's just a little bit round in the back. This should be lower and flatter. There we go. I want to make sure that this angle is quite good. So I'm just going to very gradually and carefully shave off part of that. There we go. I think that is about what I want. Okay. So now I'm just going to get that little heel sticking out. There is just a little round part there, and then it kind of goes flat near the bottom. It just sticks out a little here. At least I think that's how I drew it. I guess it kind of curves back. Probably a little bit more like this. Okay, I'll call that good. And then it is just flat at the bottom, but just those little tiny divots in a few places. So I can use this line to kind of help me make it flat, in theory. I will have to remove that line before I can really check this. Okay, let's do that now, just to make sure that things here are nice and flat like they should be. Perfect. fill in the rest of the shape here, and now I will round out here, and I'm gonna go double check what I did before, but I think that the toe is quite flat. Yes. That's just kind of how I drew it, so I want it to be fairly flat, but maybe not quite like this. Maybe just a little bit more of a curve. And then we have this part that comes out of, you know, the sole of the shoe there. It's a little bit wider than everything else. Or a little bit longer in this case, I suppose. And I'll just touch things up. And see, this is why I'm starting here, because I always find drawing a foot from the side to be way easier than trying to do it from the front or back. But considering I'm not posing them, I don't really think it'll be that bad. But I just had some space here and I was like, you know what, we should use it. Let's make use of this space here. After all, I am trying to make a nice design sheet and not necessarily a technical document. So let's do things that'll help it look nice. Let's do things that'll help it look just a little bit nicer. Okay. Gotta smooth out the back here, but otherwise, I think this looks pretty good. I will go do its decorations now. Once I'm satisfied with the toe. Then I'll go do the decorations. One thing at a time, I suppose. My brain still trying to think 5 steps ahead. You see, this is why when I play Animal Well, I walk in the water or into enemies a lot, because I'm just thinking several steps ahead, and somehow I forget my temporal location. It keeps happening. Okay. Are we straight here? This looks pretty straight. And this is more of a technical thing, so I'm not going to put little folds on the back like I did on the other one. So this is fine as it is. So let's go ahead and give it its little patterns and stuff. I'm just going to do it directly on the layer. I might regret my life choices here, but frankly, I think doing it directly on the layer will stop me from getting too caught up in stuff that's not super important. I might do the patterns, or you know, the lines on another layer and then merge it down. But yeah, I don't want to get too caught up in details here. I just want to get the general idea down, so this way people can clearly see how this shoe is put together. And it is just flat across the bottom here. I realized that when I drew I kind of made them look like rain boots. And I thought that was kind of cute, so that is why everything is shaped like this. Oh yeah, and then there's this, the bit that goes up on the toe. So this part actually should be shaped slightly differently, I think. I think this should be straighter. There we go. Let's connect that, and then how high up in the toe does it go? Maybe a third of the way up. So this might actually be a little bit high. So probably do about here, and about how far does it go? Okay, no, I think that's probably fine. And it is shaped a little bit more like this than it is what you might see on your average sneaker. I totally forgot that I did this, but it's fine. Okay, and I think this part comes out just a little bit. So I'll go ahead and draw that too. Just like that. I'm at 133%. I don't know why I've been wanting to sit there, considering I never like the way things look when I try to render things at 133%. Either gotta go to 100 or go to 200. For some reason, 133 just always looks bad to me. Always. Okay. There's just something about the way that the pixels alias at 133% that makes things look perpetually blurry to me. And naturally, that's just no good with how I like to make things look. Okay, so that seems okay. Do I have it high enough? Do I have it wide enough? Do I have it the right shape? I think it'll be easier to get the right shape once I put in the little claw feature there. So sure, let's do that next. So that's gonna run up the front here. And then there will be a dot sitting up on the toes. Yeah, it's like right in the middle of the toe here. Okay, so this tells me that I probably do not have it quite wide enough here. So let's extend that to the side a little bit more. And then I'll put the second one. We only see two of them at this angle. The third one's going to be on the other side. So the second one kind of comes up like this. Comes up onto the toe here. And we'll have the second circle probably like right there. Being very messy about this, but it's okay. I'll fix it. Speaking of things that probably helped me improve my own understanding of perspective and whatnot, it's drawing these. And trying to draw the same character from multiple directions. It's like here I kept it simple and just did front and back, but when I was actually doing a bunch of turnarounds, I typically did front, back, and side. So I got pretty good at lining things up like that, and I do think that it probably helped me a bit, helped my ability to picture things in 3D space. I do think it improved that. So this is kind of a fun way to be able to practice those things. See, when it comes to studies and practice, I know that there are some people out there that like to keep their studies simple, and they are probably saner than me. That's probably the better way to do it, but I always liked doing something a little bit more practical. And doing things that I enjoyed while studying. It made the studying a little bit more fun. And so this is one of the things I did. I just did character design sheets. 'Cause they're cool. And they're fun to make. And it got me the same kind of practice. And it made me want to practice more rather than less. So that worked out pretty well for me, I think. So I think it's something like that. I'm just thinking, do I have this circle in the right spot? I think I do. It's like I say it improved it, and then it's like, oh man. Perspective hard. Okay, and I think that the bit in the front is a little bit shorter than the bit in the back. It looks like the bit in the back goes most of the way up the heel. Not quite all the way, but most of the way. Okay, so something like that. Just kind of cups the back of the heel here. That might be a little bit too tall. Let me flatten it out just a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. I think right about there is correct. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the little divots now too, just because it's an easy detail that'll make me feel good about myself. See, nice and easy. Okay. Because now it's about time for all my lines. So these two will join up with a big circle on the back here. And then there's like a line going all the way down. Down the back here. Okay. Yeah, I think that's about right. So, I think I will do my egg before I do lines. I might be procrastinating just a little bit because lines are scary, but it's okay. Let's see here. So the egg shape is supposed to be sitting like right in the middle, and it just barely starts going onto the back of the toes here, so probably like right about here. And the top part looks like it goes slightly higher than the back, so I might not actually have this part going down quite enough. Yeah, I do think I make it slope a little bit harder than that. Okay, I'm gonna have to redraw that circle. It's okay. I want this to slope down just a little bit more here. Okay. Then I put in the circle. About how big is it? Yeah, I think I have this sizing about right here. Put it about halfway on, halfway off. And there. This is too small. Never ask me about proportion. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. So then egg shape is going to come just like a little bit higher than that. Not a lot, just a little bit. It'll come down here like this. This will be like the widest point down here at the bottom. And then it just kind of curves back up onto the foot here. So we have the white outline and then the yellow inside. And it is kind of a strange shape. I'm just going to worry about getting the outside smooth and making sure that it is covering the areas that it needs to on the outside. Currently, I think that this white line is a little bit too thick. But that's okay, because I know that I want to take some of it out in the center. And I'm going to do that once I grab my yellow color. So I am just making sure that the outer part is perfect. And that I like everything I see here. And I am currently ignoring everything on the inside. Okay. So now I can grab my yellow color and now I can pay attention to the inside. So I can make my line thinner up top like I want. Thicker on the bottom like I want. And go from there. And I never pictured this yellow part sticking out at all. It is still just very straight down. This is roughly how I pictured it in my head, and now I'm glad that everyone can see what I was picturing in my head. That's kind of the beauty of art for me. I get ideas, and then I can draw them. And then with that, everyone can see my ideas. They are real now. I swear I'll never be able to look at that phrase quite the same way again, because my daughter has been wanting to read The Velveteen Rabbit, like, every night for the past 2 or 3 weeks or so. And so now I just think of that whenever I think of something becoming real. That actually is kind of a funny story of things that you can tell kids when they're trying to cope with losing their favorite toys. It's like, don't worry, it's just real now. Your toy bunny that we had to burn because you got sick and it got covered in germs? No. We didn't burn it, it's just a real bunny now. I'm sure he's watching over you in the forest. Okay. Okay, yeah, now it is line time. I will start with this one that's supposed to kind of connect in between here. This is like the low point, so it should connect at the bottom point here. So it goes like this. Gotta flatten out the top there, and there we go. So this is a little bit of an awkward angle, but I think it's okay. I'll make it clear that while they do connect, it is kind of more like this, at a slight angle. And I must be feeling bold if I'm attempting to do lines directly on this layer. Let's do it. I am feeling bold today. Still not feeling coordinated exactly, but I am feeling bold. Do I have that dot too low? I do, actually. Okay. I'll make it just a little bit higher up here, so that this way that line can flow into it a little bit better. There. There. No problem at all. Okay, how am I gonna do this line? Just like that. Okay. And then I'll just touch up the few places that I don't think look very good, and then I can draw the next one. A little thicker. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm a little shaky, but I think it looks okay. So I think I will call that good. And I'm going to go do the lines on the bottom of the foot next. I'm just checking the back to make sure that I remember how it all works. And I think I do, so here we go. I am terrified. I have the wrong color. I'll start from the back this time, and I'm gonna be a little bit quiet while I focus on lines. Ooh, that looked terrible. Let's try again. Okay, I think that going around these curves is gonna be the hardest part. It is a little bit too thin, but the curve looks nice. Man, I cannot get the angle right here. Okay, let's try from the other side. Nope, that's not right. I swear, if I do end up writing a comic like I want, I'm gonna have to be so careful with my character designs. I gotta make something that I can draw fast. And these kinds of patterns, probably not it. They're so nice. Nope, nope, that's a bad angle. Okay, let me try it from this side then. Okay, that's promising. That's promising. Let's just slowly connect them together. Okay, and I will have to smooth this out a little bit, which is unfortunate, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. So now I just gotta do that again. I will take it very carefully. Just gonna take my time and try not to get too caught up in going fast. Okay, and then just clean up the connecting point here. Right here is a little bit shaky, so let's straighten that out nicely. Okay. And now I just gotta climb back up here. I was right that the back of the heel there would be the hardest part. The rest didn't look so bad. Okay, so that's 2 of the sets of lines there. The last one is just the one that goes around the egg. And then I think that is everything we'll see on the side. No, not true. We see 1 dot on the side. 2 dots. How big is this one? Probably from about... It's about the same size as this one, I think. So I will measure. Yep, this one just sits on the back of the heel like this. And then we have another one kind of at a 45-degree angle here. Okay. And now, I can draw a nice circle around the egg here. Actually, I think this one is a little bit closer to the edge. Yeah, they're kind of sitting back there. They don't show in the front, so... Okay, here goes nothing. Definitely the hardest set of lines, because the entire thing is curved. And yeah, that seems fine. That seems fine. Let's get the other one. Nope, that's no good. I should stop trying to get all the way around in one fell swoop and just break it up a little. Even if it means I kind of have to touch things up afterward. Okay. I'll join it from this side. In theory. In theory. Now that is way too far apart, so I'm just gonna go back over here. just go on back over here. Try to get this to be about equal thickness here. Okay, a little choppy, but that's nothing that I can't go back and draw over a bit to clean up. I just feel like the line's a little bit thin at the bottom too, so I'm gonna thicken it up a little while I'm down here. And now that I have something there, I can kind of make it look a little bit better. There we go. I'll just fix that little stroke that came off the edge here. And then all should be well. Okay. Yeah, there we go. This seems alright. Okay! So now we just have the front and the back. And I think those should be comparatively straightforward. So let me get my lines back up here in the front. Actually, before I even do that, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple more lines that I think will be relevant. So this is kind of what I do if I was going to do a side view on the character. Is I'd start putting in some other guidelines. I want my line to be a little thinner. But yeah, I'd start putting in some guidelines for other relevant places. So there's the bottom of the ears. Here is the back of the shoe. The start of the heel. The top of the toes. The back of the heel there. The toe white part thingy. And the sole. Okay. So I think those are the most relevant landmarks. Oh yeah, and I guess I should do top of the egg too. I guess I'll also do bottom of the egg. So I think those are the most relevant landmarks. So I want to make sure that everything I do on the front and the back kind of lines up with that. So on the front, we're gonna have the cat ears kind of going down here. So this is where they stop. I'll try to keep them roughly the same size. So we have this kind of shape. And then they'll come out. The shoe is a little bit wider than the cat ears. And I already know that everything goes like straight down to the bottom here. Okay, so now I should start being able to carve my shapes out of this. Just draw more lines straight down here. I will have to color all this in at one point, so I'm just kind of doing it now. Kind of helps me see. And we go around. This I can probably actually afford to make symmetrical now that I think about it. So that might make my life a little bit easier, actually. So I'll go ahead and bring it over. Okay. So now we'll have symmetry. I'm gonna... let me get this up here, and I will lock it just in case. Just because I don't want it to be moving around while I'm trying to draw if I accidentally, like, grab it or something. I've done that a few times, and it's always terrible, because then I have to realign things. And sometimes that can take a little bit. Okay. And I also have to say that if you're interested in VTuber models and making them, you're going to use the symmetry tool so much. And you will have a much easier time if you do use that symmetry tool. So now I can kind of figure out the side and how much of it we see. Based on what we see here, just, you know, not a lot. I will end up scooting this guy over, I think. But I think that this is fine to start with. This might even be a little bit too much, honestly. And that's kind of the... This actually reminds me of a kind of a funny thing about drawing in general. When I was drawing the other shoe there, I noticed that I got the entire shape of the shoe done in, like, no time at all. Like, it was really fast. And then what ended up taking a long time was just all the small details on it. And I think that is true to how art goes, where you have most of the drawing done really early on. And then the part that's actually time-consuming is just... just refining it. Getting it to the point where it looks really good. And I think that is true for pretty much any drawing. I'd actually go as far as to say that it's true for most forms of creativity. Or, you know, writers will have the form of the book down fairly fast, but then they have to, like, go back and edit, and that requires you rereading your entire thing multiple times, and a bunch of other things, and refining those ideas. And I know as a programmer that debugging everything is, like, a lifelong challenge. So I do think that that's interesting of just... It's like most of the work is done very fast. Okay, now I have to figure out what the toes do. For that, I will use my shadow color, just because I do think I need a little bit of extra help to separate the toe from the rest of this. And I think toes are going to be slightly wider here, so where's the top of the toe? Oh wow, that high. So I'll do something like this. And I will make it go a little bit beyond that, because I want to use this as kind of a line. And I will fill in the rest with the color that I want here. Okay, and I'm gonna hide my guidelines for a second, just so I can kind of see what I'm doing here. See, this is why I wanted it to go slightly above. And I'm gonna get rid of all the shadow on the sides there. I'm just keeping it there for convenience for the moment. Okay. So now that's nicely separated. And now I can get everything nice and smooth again. So once again, we have a foot pretty fast. And what's gonna take a while is putting all the details on it. Especially those dang lines. The lines. Cannot escape the lines. Okay, and I know that the sole is a little bit wider than everything else. So I'll go ahead and add a little spot sticking out there before I go and smooth the bottom. Yeah, now I get the bottom part nice and smooth, and I'll go and check on everything higher up. I'll go ahead and get the shadow here. While I am here, I guess it's less a shadow and more of a line now. Maybe I should use a darker color then. Let's do it. I'm gonna go grab this really dark color that I used on her coat, and I'll just go ahead and make a selection. I'll just change it. There we go. No problem. It's nice being able to just quickly change my mind like that. But now the separation between toe and boot should be quite clear, and you can see the toe is not that much wider than the rest of the boot. So this is kind of a wide boot here. Just want to get rid of some spots where it looks like I had kind of shaky hands. And I just want to make it a little bit thinner here, because it is not a decoration or anything. It is just something to separate the toe. Okay. And I think that's fine. Maybe a little thick, but I can thin out the entire thing once I finish drawing it. I do think it is a little bit too thick. Yeah, those toes look perhaps a little bit massive. But I don't really want to mess with the symmetry that I have here, so I'm going to go ahead and draw it like this, and then I will make things thinner at the end. I think this is probably actually a kind of a bad way to do it, but it's easier than the alternative, so I'm going to roll with it. Okay. And then there's going to be like the big round part here, which I think is actually going to be wider than this. I think it's going to go most of the way across. How tall are you? I was actually pretty close. Nice. So about that tall. I want it to be kind of roundish, and I know it's going to be a wide circle right now because I need to make everything thinner. So I think this is okay. And then we have the circles, which would be like sitting near the top of the toe here, and I can't really draw them with perfect circles because they have to look flat. How do I do that? Kind of like this, I think. And then we have the line coming down the middle here. Something like this. A little bit thinner in the back there, yeah. Okay, that is too small. The thing is that I just need to make sure that I leave room for the egg to kind of sit on top too. Because the egg is going to be doing something like this. Where it goes out kind of near the edge. It is like almost the width of the boot here. This is why I said that not resizing it at the beginning was probably a bad idea. I just didn't want to fix the symmetry. So it's shaped kind of like this. And I will have a slightly harder time with proportions because of it, but, you know, what else is new? I'm used to it, so I can manage. Okay. So yeah, we have this kind of shape here. And it kind of comes up onto the toes like that. It'll lift up a little. I guess I'll just go ahead and draw it first then. But due to the angle, it's going to appear thinner than it really is. So I don't have to worry about making the bottom nice and thick like I normally do. Okay, let's put the yellow in. Let's get that yellow in there. Alright, not bad. I think that's about what I want for that. So hopefully this will help me figure out where all this is supposed to go. I do need to make sure to kind of save enough room for a couple of lines here. Maybe I should just do these lines now. So I'm going to have a thick line kind of coming up here, and then 2 thin ones coming around here. Where it kind of flattens out, and I'm not actually sure if we'll see much of this one. I think this one will just kind of blend in with my egg there. Oh, I wish my head wasn't so shaky. But it struggles with the lines. Okay. So I'm gonna zoom in and kind of clean this up now. Because it is a little bit shaky. But I think that is well within my ability to just kind of clean here. Yeah. I think that's fine. Just, you know, thick. Everything is gonna be thicker than it should be. So I should actually make a point to make the circle a little bit oblong. Okay, let's get the lines where I want them here. It's gonna be something like this. I know this isn't shaped like that, but that's what's easy to draw. So here we go. Now I can make things a little bit oblong here. And I make this kind of shape here. Get it all nice and smooth. And little circles that sit up top there. Let's try to get them kind of bending the right direction here. I want to make it look like they're sitting flat on the top of the toe. Okay, I think that's okay. I'm probably going to have to do some corrections after I fix the size, but we'll start here. But otherwise, this seems pretty good. Now I'll draw the lines on the cat ears here. Fortunately, I don't have to go very far. Okay. And then around the toes. Last set of lines here. Okay, I'm gonna have to break this up. I cannot get the consistent distance that I want. Okay, that should be good. Let's just clean up where I kind of messed up there, and there we go. Okay, let's try to get the width of this right now. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. Okay, and I'll try to line it up with my symmetry because I realized I forgot to do the little divots on the bottom here. I think I raised it, unfortunately. Let me get my guidelines out here. Okay, no, I actually kept it in roughly the same spot. Nice. Okay, we do the small divots. And there we go. That is another completed direction thingy. Do I need to touch anything up here? I don't really feel like these circles are sitting on top of the shoe well, but I think this is fine. So I will go plop you over here, and I will move my symmetry a little further. Okay, well, we'll do the last one right there. Time for the back. So this one will not have cat ears. I'm just not going to draw them at all. Like, naturally, they would exist, but that's not important. I just want to show the backside here. So we're probably going to have, this is where the backside will end. It'll probably go up like this. Let's see here. I'm going to use you as kind of a guideline for how wide this should be. Because if I am satisfied with your width, then naturally that means that this guy should be about the same width. Except this time we go straight down because I don't care about the toes. My center is off. Okay. Why are you not moving? Move, please. Seriously, why are you... Oh, I have the wrong one selected. That's why. That would do it. Okay, hopefully that's close. Nope. See, this is why I hate messing with the centering. It does make life hard sometimes. Okay, I'm just gonna have to try to align this. How is that? Okay, yeah, that seems pretty good. Should be able to get it a good width now. And once I have that, I can kind of mold the shape here and get the top part right, and then all will be well. Okay, I think I have everything I need here. So I'm gonna go put the shoe back. And I see that I missed a spot here, so I'm gonna fix that while I'm there, and then I can carry on over here. And you can actually go back to being at 100% opacity. Because now I don't have to see through you anymore. Okay. I don't really think the heel is any wider than the rest of this, so I'm just gonna move it straight down. Okay, and now that I have this, I'm gonna hide my guidelines for a bit while I smooth out the bottom. But I just saw a couple of holes there, so I wanted to fill it in, and now I can make things nice and smooth here. Perfect. Exactly what I need. Okay. I'm gonna note where the little sole sticks out a little bit further than the rest. Just a little bit. Yeah, just like that. I think that's perfect. Okay, and I want to note where the very lowest part is here. So I'll go ahead and try to match that up. And then from there, I just gently let this all slope down. Okay. That should be pretty good. So there's the shoe shape. Now I can start adding all the details. And this will be the last one, so that'll be nice. And then I guess I'll go back to drawing the expressions I was working on last time. I might do a little bit with how I'm laying things out as well. I think this is one of those where it just kind of depends on my mood. I do want to start on the third expression, just to make sure that I have a day to check my proportions. But besides that, I think all is well, and I can just kind of do what I want. So this takes up pretty much the entire width of the heel. And it'll go all the way up there. Yeah, just like this. I like drawing all these little details. I like doing character design sheets. They are just so much fun. I was not disappointed in the slightest when people picked character design sheets like this for the next thing to work on. It's like I thought for sure it was going to be more illustrations. But no, I'm pretty okay with this. I would have been pretty okay with more illustrations too, though. Really, I only put things that I wanted to do up there, so anything was fine. Okay. So now I guess we get this, and this will kind of be right in the middle. Oh, I have the wrong color picked. Maybe I should... Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to draw the lines before I do this. Just because I think I'll have a bad time if I don't. So let's just do that now. But the good news is I don't have to draw the egg this time. So that'll make my life a little bit easier here. Less lines to draw. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna call that good. Alright. Yeah, now I guess I'll do the line straight up. I think for that, I can make my life easy and just use the line tool. I think this thickness is fine. I think that's about how thick I made that. Yeah, it was a little bit thicker than everything else, so... no, a little too thick. Maybe something more around here. This might be too thin. Let's take a look. No, that's actually perfect. Okay. Maybe we'll go with that. Alright, let's get these dots in now. Okay. So we have one here. And then the other ones are going to be kind of on the side here. One there and one there. And then another one doesn't quite touch the top, but gets pretty dang close. Right there. And then I realized that things are kind of dipping in the middle here, so I'm going to just fill that in. And I'll go ahead and do the little divots here as well. Okay. There's our little small. So I think all that's left is the lines on the top. Not missing anything, right? Yep, that's it. Alright, let's do it. And that'll be my shoe close-ups done. I don't like it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so now that area is all filled in. And I mean, I will need to decide on a bunch of things here, but at the very least, yeah, that is that. Gonna push the side of the shoe over there just a little. Give a little bit more breathing room to the one to the bottom there. But yeah, now we have close-ups of everything. Everything that I want to do close-ups of. I don't think the skirt needs its own close-up, and I certainly don't want to try to draw the bottom of this again. Okay. I guess I'll come back over here to these guys. And I'll kind of get the final expression done. Let me just think of... I was gonna do the happy one, the exasperated one, and then kind of an angry one. So... let me think of a kind of angry face. The kind of pose I want to do. So let me just picture that in my eye here. I'm gonna close my eyes and just think for a second before I get started. Okay. I already have my colors over here, so it'll be easy. Okay, just gonna set up my layers real quick. Okay, and now we can get started. Alright. Just stretch in and real quick and get comfortable. So let's see, I'm gonna have her kind of looking down a little, so that'll have this angle on the head here. And I'll draw my little box. I've been thinking about how I want to go about constructing heads, and man, I still have not quite figured out the method that would let me do everything fast. But I'm trying. I'm working on it. So we got box here. I'm gonna try drawing a full box. Because, you know, boxes are pretty easy to draw. Barely even have to think about it. Okay, so we got box. I'm gonna go ahead and put some eyes on it. It's not quite properly parallel. I guess I should actually fix that first. There we go. So hopefully that kind of thing will help me, and the eyes here are actually kind of receding a little bit more like that. Things should be wider at the top and narrower at the bottom at this angle, I think. So I'll kind of put that in, and there we go. Okay, so let's give her some eyes here. Actually, before that, I kind of want to give her a nose. Kind of show the tilt of the head. Oh no, you should not be under the eyelash layer. This is no longer an eyelash layer. This is now a face layer. We'll make a new one for the eyelashes. Okay. I drew this really small, but that's alright. I will fix that later. Okay, so we got some eyelashes. They're a little close together here. I think I want this one to be a touch bigger as well. And this guy needs to kind of push in a little. There we go. Okay, now let's see if I can draw a chin and stuff. Back of the head I think is a little bit large, but not the worst. And I'll just kind of go back and forth like this until I get a shape I like. Still kind of feeling it out more than I would like. I would like to get a little bit better at actual construction. But I suppose this works for now. For now. I'll work on it. I haven't had as much time lately for just some of my own artistic development between streaming for 3 hours every day and working on the design that I've been working on for Michi's outfit contest. So I would like to finish that. But then I should have time to draw some heads again. Get through the last few requests that I have, and then, you know, maybe open requests again. Or maybe draw my own characters. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Okay, but this seems alright. This is looking pretty head-like. Nose is a little bit large, but that is fixable. Okay, I do feel like the head is a little bit wide at the top. Just a little bit there. Okay. And I think that's fine for now. Now for the body. This one's going to be interesting because I do think I need to put one of the arms out above her head because I kind of want her hand to be covering her mouth. Just like angry, vaguely plotting. That's kind of what I'm seeing here, so let's get that. This will be the body. Just get some of the basic shapes in here. I think I'll have the other arm kind of come across like this, but that's not going to get seen, so I'll just draw the shoulders until I'm satisfied. And I'll take the kind of inverted color I've got for the arms out here and just kind of attach a shoulder here. Let the arm come down and across. And it'll touch the elbow of the other hand, so it's just going to do something like that. And the other one, the other hand, actually needs to go above all of these layers. Look how plotting arm. And we're going to have a hand. Let's see, I picture a finger kind of like this. Rest of the hand on the chin. And then the shoulder, it kind of comes out like this. And we're just going to have an arm coming down, something like that. Well, the alien hive mind tries to figure out what it wants to do here. I'm doing the pose myself, which unfortunately involves me covering my mouth, so it's hard to talk. Okay, so kinda... yeah, the finger sticks out, so it's gonna be kind of like this. Where it is very flat. And then we have a thumb kind of on the cheek. So something like this. And yeah, that seems fine. Let's give her some eyes, because I feel like I really need the eyes to sell the expression. Okay. The eyebrows will help too. So I might put them in, even though I didn't put eyebrows on any of the rest of them. I didn't really feel like they were needed, but this one might need eyelashes. Just because, like, there are times when these things are needed. Let's see, I'm gonna tilt her head just a little bit here. I just want to tilt this head just a little bit more here. Just so it makes sense for her eyes to be kinda looking a little bit more upward. I want her to be looking at the viewer. Okay. Time to make this just a little bit more glare-like. For once, I actually drew the eyes too small. I almost never do that. I almost always just draw them way too big. Okay. Let's give her some hair. We're gonna have bangs here, doing bang things and making her eyes look a little bit more ominous. Got the long ones dropping down here. And here. Gonna see a little bit more of the top of her head here, so I will just draw that, and then the back will be kind of sitting over here. And there, let's fit her inside of this bubble now, since I drew her so freaking tiny. Okay, so something like that, and I think that should work pretty well. This one, unfortunately, just has to be a little bit more zoomed out so we can get her hands. But for the rest, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, how do I feel about your proportions? Pretty bad. I feel pretty bad about them. It's okay. I think the big thing is just that I forgot that she's looking down. So I need to kind of push everything a little bit further downward, make her chin a little bit smaller and stuff like that. Okay, we're gonna hide the hair for a second while I get the shape of this head looking really good. I should hide this hand too, just so I can really see everything. Oh, that is a good expression though. I am pleased. It's okay, I figure an emotionless alien hive mind would probably have a pretty cold looking anger. More of a, okay, what am I supposed to do about this? Humans are weird. They are persuaded by things like, the universe will end if you don't die. Okay, that seems pretty alright. Let's make that nose a little bit better here. Kinda just want to turn it a little further that way. And I actually think that this mouth is just a little bit too far to the side. Okay, and otherwise, I mean, it's messy, but sketches are supposed to be messy. It's all good. I just want to fill in some areas here. Okay. Now to get the hair right. Let's see, how do I want you to fall? How do I want you to fall? Ah, the joy of liquefy. Makes my life so much easier. Let's get some hair on her face here. Are her eyes a little far apart? I think they are, actually. Just a little bit. Okay, and that will affect where the side hair here is supposed to go. So let's push it on over. Okay. And I think that's fine for now. Yeah, and I don't hate the proportions, so... yeah, I'll leave it there for now. Do I feel like working on my other ones right now? Or am I sick of drawing heads right now? I kinda do want to get everything else looking good. I don't know what I want to do for the background here, though. I don't like the black lines. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick some better colors now. Okay, where's my front and back here? Alright, let's pick a stroke color here. So this is gonna look bad at first. I'm gonna pick the red from the jacket, and I'm gonna make it darker. Louder? That should look terrible, right? Yeah. I don't know, maybe this purple would look better? I mean, naturally I can't use it like that, but... just a matter of finding a color I like. And I don't think it's purple. I wonder what color it is then. I thought for sure that it would be red. But I am not enjoying these dark red colors at all. Maybe it's just pink. So we got the pale pink there. Let's just try to make it a little bit darker. Bring it a little bit more toward the magenta. See if that does it. Not really. Admittedly, I can spend a while trying to pick colors that I like. But I do know that it has to be dark. And that might be what has thrown me off here. So I'm just gonna rotate through some colors here. See if anything jumps out at me. As something that I find enjoyable for this. Not especially. Should I just pick a darker color from the background then? Maybe. Let's try that then. It's like I thought the pink would be cute. But maybe... I just need something darker back there. This is where I start thinking about the composition of everything, and how everything works together. Look through some different colors, I'm still not really seeing anything I like. I don't know, how do I feel about... Like, I already know I like the pink. I already had this as a test layer, so let's... Oh, I have you set to erase, okay. Let's try red. How do I feel about red? I feel like that is a lot. Like, it's a little bright. No, I vastly prefer the pink here. The problem is, basically, like, in short, it's a lack of contrast, right? Like, her design is very, very light, and then I picked this very, very light background, but I think that they look better than a dark background. This is always the struggle. The struggle of trying to figure out how to light things. How to present the character in the most visually appealing way. And I mean, I imagine if this was just a technical document, I'd just leave it white, right? Maybe a light gray. But that's not really something I want to do here, because I'm trying to do something that looks pretty for the internet. And admittedly, it's like, I don't think that the grays here look half bad. But it doesn't feel right either. Eventually, I generally just get some kind of breakthrough and roll with it. Let's see. What kind of thing do I want to do? What kind of how to say decoration and texture would look good here? Like, what kind of border do I want to put around? I'm gonna put it back to pink for now. Okay. So what kind of symbols and patterns and stuff do they use on official images? I just want to take a quick look and see what kind of thing makes sense here. I mean, really, it seems like I can do just about anything. Okay, so what I think I want to do for the border here, I'm gonna go ahead and just make it black for now. This will not be the final color, but I just need something down. I think I want to make it like a heartbeat monitor. So I have like straight lines and it goes up and down, kind of like that. Just, you know, better. Let me look up what they actually look like. What do the lines typically look like? Okay, I think I'm getting the gist of the pattern here. I'm gonna hide my text. Okay. So generally you have like a straight, and then we go boop, or like a little boop, and then a big boop, and then a little boop again, and that kind of thing. And before I even attempt something like this, I would like to make a rectangle. We are going to select everything, and I'm going to shrink the selection by, let's call it about 100 pixels. Oh, that's... Okay, there it goes. I was gonna say, that's way less than I was expecting. And then I'm going to put a stroke on it. About 10 pixels. Yeah, seems good. Okay. Okay, so that'll be the start. And I can kind of adjust my various things around that. So let's get these circles inside the border now. I'm probably going to have to move them around again. Actually, you know what? I'm almost certainly going to. So I'm going to do that later. We will hide them for now. Okay, so now I have a nice flat baseline. And on a new layer, I'm going to start doing my little things here. I'm going to use the line tool, actually. You should be exactly 10 pixels. Okay, and now I will draw little blips. I'm going to do it with the brush with no pressure. So this way it'll just go. Why are you so blurry? Oh, because I was at 133%. Fair enough. Fair enough. Why do you look so much larger than the 10 pixel one that I had there? Okay. I'm gonna put that away. Okay, let's see. And a big one. And up here. And then small. So something like this. I will clean up this pattern a little bit, and then from there, I'm just gonna copy and paste this all the way across. In various places. I am not satisfied with how pointy the top and bottom of these are, is the thing. That's the main thing I wasn't quite happy with. They were kind of flat and round, and I don't think that looked very good. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And once I have this going all the way around, only after that will I go through and edit the line here, so that this way I delete all the parts that are overlapping. And then I can decide on a color. But, you know, like I said, deciding on colors, kinda hard. Choices, in general, are hard. But they've got to be made. They've got to be made. Okay. And here. Just making sure that the shape is exactly as I want it to be. The line is kind of in the way at the moment. And then I'll just drag this all the way around. It'll be nice and easy once I'm actually happy with how it looks. But considering that this is going to be copy and pasted like, you know, 50 times, I want to make sure that I'm happy with it before I start moving it around. Because if I need to make any changes, I'm going to have a bad time. A very, very bad time. As I'll probably have to just remove everything and copy and paste it all over again. So, I just want to take a moment to make sure I actually like what I have here. Alright, those are some nice pointy angles. That looks so much better than it did before I edited it, so I am happy. I am very happy. Okay. Let's go ahead and put my line back. And I will start moving it across. I think I can afford to have them pretty far apart. So I will do that. And I don't think it has to be consistent. So I will just put them at, you know, semi-random intervals here. Might have some that are closer together, some that are further apart. It's all good. I can do what I want. I'll put this one nice and far away. Because I feel like it. And then once I've gone all the way across here, I'm gonna just... I think I'll flip it horizontally and vertically. And that should give me a slightly different pattern on the bottom. And then I'll do something similar with the sides. So all of these will be merged together. And then I can duplicate things further. And just, you know, make my life nice and easy and have a cute little border here. A very simple one. I don't think it needs to be complicated. Okay. And that'll take me to the edge. And I think that's good. So let's merge all of these. And I will duplicate this. Mirror it horizontally. Mirror it vertically. And now I have something a little bit different on the bottom, so that will make it look a little bit more interesting. And I will grab the original one that I drew here. We will copy and paste this. And now I want to rotate this 90 degrees and plop it down here. There. And now I can do the same thing on the sides. And we'll just send it all the way around, and then when the time comes, I can decide what color all of this is going to be, and it should be great. I just need to kind of clean up where these lines overlap, and they shouldn't. That'll be easy peasy once all this is in. Okay, and I think this will be the last one. I'll just plop it down near the bottom here. Maybe I'll do one more. Yeah, I guess it needs one more. And there we go. Perfect. So now I merge them all together again. And we mirror things. Perfect. Nice and easy. Okay, and now I want to clean up the initial line going all the way around, like I've been saying. This way it looks like it's coming up here. And going down there. There. And I just have to do that a few times. I think it'll probably be easier to do all this manually than try to come up with some template I can repeat over and over again like I did before. So that's what I'll do. And we'll have a cute little border here. I still don't know what color I want this to be, though. I am having so much trouble deciding on colors. It's like sometimes colors are easy to figure out. Sometimes they are not. It's always nice when everything just kind of comes to me, and I just know exactly what to do, but this is not one of those times. Deeply unfortunate. So since I'm having trouble figuring out colors, I am going to hide all of my extras and decide on colors with just the front and back showing. So this way I can pick which color I think complements the design the best without getting hung up on, you know, does this other part look good? I can adjust the colors for everything else later. The most important part is that the front and back, the full body front and back there looks good. So it makes sense to hide everything if I'm having a little bit of trouble. Sometimes, if something's hard, you just gotta find a way to simplify it. Really drill down into what's important. Okay, now we're changing the angle, so that is changing how some of these things are going. Composition's hard. Art is hard. I like drawing patterns, though. I should draw more of them. I should draw just more of, like, everything. Art is fun. I'm kind of glad that I decided to start streaming, because it means that I have some very dedicated time every day where I just go and draw something. I mean, I guess there's 2 days a week that I play video games, but, you know, video games are fun too, it's fine. But I mean, most of the time, I am here drawing a thing. And I am definitely glad that I put aside some time where I can dedicate it to this kind of thing. Because it can be pretty easy to just get caught up in what's going on in life and forget about these things. Forget about how fun it is to just sit down and make something. How great it can feel to just gradually become more competent at something. And how nice it can feel to just get the ideas trapped in your head out onto something where it can actually be seen. Because let me tell you, the way things are pictured in your head, it is not the same as when you actually get it down on something. Whether it's, you know, writing a journal or making a silly character design sheet like this. When I was initially picturing what this character would look like, this was not what she looked like in my head. And I gotta say, what's here is way better than what was actually in my head. All the details are there, and I can see everything. I remember a long time ago somebody asked me how I could keep streaming even though I have no viewers, and it's like, yeah, this is pretty much why. I just like coming on and making the thing. It's fine if there's no one watching. Because I am still making the thing, and that is a good time. Alright, and I am almost all the way around here. That means I think it'll be time to pick out some colors. I think I want to do that before I figure out my expressions there and making them look nice. I think at this point I really do just gotta figure out how all this fits together before I can do anything else. Because otherwise it'll continue driving me slightly crazy. Okay. So there's the border. I'm gonna go... No, I'm gonna leave the text off. I'm gonna figure out the colors. That's what I want to do. So first I'm gonna position the character so that she looks good with this new border. So I want to give everything a little bit of breathing room here. This does mean that I might have to move her out of the way a bit, so this way there's room for text, or maybe I move the text. I don't know. I'll figure out something. But first, let's get some colors. Obviously, everything's gonna look bad like that, so... Okay, once again, I want to experiment with a dark color. See if any dark color looks good against this character. If any dark color, I think, suits this character. It's like, I don't hate the reds. It could be worse. That's just really dark, though. It's just really dark. And everything about it is so light. I mean, this is where it's like, yes, contrast makes sense. It'll probably help showcase the character a little bit. But I just don't know if she looks good with that much contrast. And this is my struggle. Okay, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna replace this stroke with an outer glow. White is fine. I don't know what color it's gonna be yet. I'll start with white. Does making her glow just do it better than a stroke? Actually, kinda, yeah. White's probably not the right color, but I think it looks pretty alright. Like, I'm not quite sure what this setting does. So I'm gonna mess with it. Okay, how do you look with like a pink glow? Yeah, that's kind of cute. Let me make it a little bit lighter than this. Maybe a little bit more pink. And then maybe that'll give me some wiggle room to pick a darker color if it just makes her look glowy instead. Instead of the, you know, the precision that I have over there. And if I make the stroke just tiny... Okay. It's not visible on the outer glow if I make it too tiny. So it's not on top. Which is actually a problem, so I can't use it. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let me actually get the size of this where I want it to be. Because right now I think it's a little bit large. But I think I could get behind something like this. Okay. And this does make the darker background a little bit more viable. Okay, let me pick the color from her jacket again. And I will modify from there. Oh, once again, I had my eraser. Okay, and I will go from here. I feel like this is too saturated. We'll make it a little less bright. I guess that's not terrible. Let's see if there's a better color. Actually, let me put it in state of I guess it's not terrible. Because once I have this, then I can experiment with other colors. Let me also copy my layer style and paste it on the other one on the backside. So that this way I'm not seeing that harsh black stroke around everything. And I can pick colors a little bit more sanely. Alright. Now for this one. Once again, I'm going to start from the same point. I'm going to reduce the saturation a bit here. And I'm going to see if there's any colors I like better. Like, I'm also wondering if a nice gray purple would work. I made it really dark and just kind of gray. Maybe not that dark. Answer is no. At least not that kind of purple. Okay, once we get a little closer to red, it's not quite so bad. But I think I still prefer the red. So... let's see here. Let's see here. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. It's okay, I'll find that right color. It exists out there somewhere, I just gotta hunt for it. Just gotta hunt for it. Now things are starting to get a little bit light again, but that's okay. It's still a lot darker than she is, so I think it's okay. No, I still don't really like it. I just feel like this is too dark. I was like, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little too dark. So I'm just duplicating the layer and then setting it to various blend modes. And see if I can find a color I like this way. So far not working out, but... I guess this, but a little bit less loud might work out. By a little bit less loud, I just mean we reduce the saturation a little. I'm gonna reduce the lightness just a little too. I guess this color's okay. This is my favorite one so far. So let's see here. I'm gonna merge these together, and what happens if I just like... yeah, set it to overlay. Or something. I think this is alright. Little red line going across there. It's pretty unobtrusive, which I think is good for a border. Okay. I don't know if I like this color still. Choices are hard. It's like, this is why I made a copy. I do think I like this color better than the other one. What if I set you to random blend modes? What do I get? Do I get something I like? Not really. I just gotta figure it out. Alright, well, I can do that. Ooh, why do I just not like it? I should ask myself that question. What is bothering me about it? I mean, I know I tend to dislike colors under, like, 90% saturation, so... I could potentially try it like that, but that just hurts, so... 90% saturation is very much an exaggeration. It is. And this I feel like is too bright. But I don't like gray either. Just solid gray. Do I just need like just a little touch of color? Would a light gray actually be like the way to go? Maybe a little darker than that. I already know that the purple didn't work out. And I doubt anything in the cool blues or anything would work if purple's not. Okay, this is a little better. Okay, this is inoffensive enough that I don't immediately hate looking at it. So, oops, let's start moving things around here. Okay, where do I want this text to sit? Do I just stick you over on the other side? I'll have to figure out what to do with the expressions if I do it like this, but I think I can make that work. Just kind of shove her over to the corner there then. Okay. I will go ahead and turn on my extras then. I'm gonna take them out because I do actually think that I would like to have the solid stroke around these circles as opposed to the softer outer glow. But for everything else, I do want the softer outer glow. Okay. Now let's move some stuff around. So the earring. Oh yeah, and it needs to be smaller. This glow way too big. Bring it down to by like half on every axis here. Axis, rather. And I'll just play with these values until I find something I like. Somewhere around there is okay. Okay. There we go. Now I can move some stuff around. Oh, not everything. I just wanted the earring. Where are you, Mr. Earring? Okay. All the shoes I will move together. They can just come up here a little. Get into that nice little area, kind of surrounded by her hair. I think that looks pretty cute. Yeah, I think gloves are fine here. The button, I think I'll still leave on this side. And ribbon and jacket, I actually do think look pretty good over here. Maybe just make them a little bit smaller now. Since there is text. I mean, overall, I thought that the way I had arranged things before was pretty alright. And actually, I do want to leave a little bit of space between these, because I want to leave some room for notes. So I probably actually want the gloves to be a little bit to the side, too. So yeah, now I should have some room for notes. Okay, and now I gotta figure out what I want to do with these guys. With my little expression circles. I think I will just make them a little smaller. Okay, yeah, that seems all right. And this should look a little bit less empty once I get my notes and stuff in. I still don't really know what color I want my notes to be. Okay, so let's do some notes here. Let's see. Let's see. So what I do is I just draw a little arrow and then I write my note. And whenever I do something, one of these character designs for the internet as opposed to my own reference, I always use my own handwriting. If I were to do it for other people's reference, I would probably type it. But for now, I'm just gonna use my own handwriting. Let's see, so tails. I try to be a little bit nicer than usual, but my handwriting is pretty messy, so. All right. So let's get some of these notes in. I don't know, I wish I knew why my pen was freaking out so much. See, it's like not drawing when I hold it in certain ways. There we go. No. There we go. Come on. My pen just does not draw when I hold it at certain angles. So the A is looking more like a U. Okay. And I imagine I will be quiet while writing. I have not yet reached the point where I can talk and write at the same time. Different... No, let's draw a better A. Okay, ribbon tails are different material. Okay, and one more note. Perhaps obvious, but here we go. Shaped like Kyubey ears. Okay. I'll make another note on the ribbon here. Looks like top of Kyubey's ears. I'm gonna make this smaller. But okay, make this text a little smaller so this way I can fit more on one line. And I want this to be on the previous line. I always make adjustments like this, it's fine. I'm gonna make this F a little bit better. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, there we go. From front. Come on, pen. Thank you. Okay. Yes. And then I always just like making little notes like this. Some of it is like literal design notes to pointing things out. Some of it is going to be more like this one, where it's just kind of what I was thinking. Hair. Let me make my brush a little thinner. Covers. Face. So you never know what she is thinking. Okay. All right. Man. Why does Krita have to be freaking out here? Oh well, it's probably fine. Okay, so... I just want to note here, unbuttons. On both sides. And then over here, I want to note that here we have the center part. And it overlaps on this side. Man, why is my... oh man, I need to fix my pen so bad. Overlaps on left side. Right side buttons. Are fake. Do not okay. Okay, so let's just note through here. Soul gem on back. So this is gonna be... Where's my... There it is. Okay. So this is front. Back. I don't think I need to label that over there. This is fine for the gloves because I don't think it's entirely clear. So I will note that the dots are on the knuckles. Assuming my pen allows me. There we go. On knuckles. Okay. I don't know. I don't really think this needs a lot of notes. I think it's a pretty straightforward one. This is jacket button. want this to be a little bit higher so I actually have room for the word button underneath it. Okay. I guess I'll label here, so this will be front, back, side, bottom. Okay. Make that a little bit more clear. And yeah, I honestly think that this is a pretty straightforward design, so I don't think I need too many labels or anything. Okay, let's do a ponytail looks like tail. Okay. Just make it clear that's deliberate, and anybody that wants to attempt to draw this should do that too. I never really drew the shirt underneath it, but I don't think it's really that important. It is just a shirt. I guess I'll note that it's long-sleeved. No, that's a bad spot for it. I'll do it on the... I'll do it somewhere else. Let's see, is there a good spot? Maybe I can actually move this then. Make it a little smaller here. Okay, yeah, that still works. So then I can just use this spot for that. Shirt is long sleeved under jacket. Okay. Okay, this is going to be an elongated cat paw print. And just have something down here. Paw inspired. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the time I have a lot more notes, but no, this is one of the more straightforward designs I've done. Okay, so I guess I'll just put in a few notes about, you know, all that. About her, what she's thinking with these expressions. So I'll go ahead and give myself a little bit more room to do so. Should be able to scooch all these over and have it be fine. Yep, no problem. Okay. So let's see. I'm just thinking of how to phrase these things. Okay, so I heard humans respond better to female human faces, so I took this form for you. Okay, next one is a little bit shorter. I don't understand you humans at all. Kind of what I'm going for there. I'm not quite sure what text I want to write for the third one yet. I'm gonna have to think about that one, actually. So... let's see here. I'm still using some placeholder colors, like up here. And don't worry, those circles there, those are fake. It's just a visual bug that kind of comes up when you use strokes in Krita sometimes. I don't really know how to make them go away. Because I don't think I'm using the strokes anywhere here, so... I don't know. Let me try. Okay, there we go. There we go. Like I said, it was just a visual bug. Okay, so... the third one is supposed to be of just, humans aren't doing what they're supposed to, so you gotta kinda... figure out what to tell them. Maybe something like, how are you supposed to get these people to do what's best for the universe or something? Yeah, let's do something like that. Make my brush a little smaller. How do... maybe how does one? How does one get such irrational beings to do what's best for the universe? Wait, why is it moving the whole thing? I have that selected. There we go. Okay, and I think that's really all I need for text here. So let's see, do I want any other, like, special decorations or texture or anything? A little bit of noise might be nice. Where is the noise again? There we are, random noise. Oh. That's right, you actually have to have something down. And see, like, that's not what I want. Okay. Let's just fill it in with, like, a neutral gray then. And then I can, like, set it to soft light. Just enough to get a little bit of texture back there. And I definitely want to desaturate that. I do not want any of those colors in there. Yes. Much better. So yeah, just a little something for a bit of texture, and... Where's my border? I think I might actually erase it on the outside of the border here. I'm gonna have to be careful if I do it like this, though. Oh, that's okay. I can be careful. Because, yeah, I can't quite just hit delete here. But that's okay. That is totally fine. I'll just very carefully get rid of everything around the edge here. And then next time I can kind of finish up drawing the expressions, and hopefully that'll be about it. I still need to like decide how I want the text to be. Pick colors for that, and pick colors for text. I actually don't think the text looks that bad black, but I think I can do a slightly better color. Oh yeah, and then I also want to make a color swatch, but I think I'll do that next time too. I think that cleaning up this border will just be the last thing I do here. Maybe I'll put a different kind of texture on the outside. I don't know. It's okay, I can try some things. But I like adding the occasional pretty decoration around. Just enough to make it a little bit more pleasant. Okay, can't make my eraser too big. Otherwise, I will definitely erase more than I bargained for. Yeah. It's like, I guess it takes a second, but this is one of those things where I can just kind of get in the groove, and the best part is it doesn't matter if I go a little bit outside the lines, as long as I don't do it too often. So there's been a couple of times where I've accidentally erased, kind of like in this area, for example, but I don't think it's really that noticeable. So, you know what? It's fine if I just leave it. It's random noise after all. It can be missing a little bit. It can be missing a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I decided to do this one. It's like, before I kind of just arbitrarily felt like doing a character design, I was thinking of just doing a Madoka-based illustration. I had a couple of ideas, but then I came up with this one, and I just decided to roll with it, and it was pretty fun. I had a good time. I'll have to think about whether or not I want to do a full sheet like this next time, or if I just want to focus in on the character design. I don't know, decorating things like this is fun. But I could also just focus entirely on one thing. As always, feedback on these things is very useful for me. So that's why I can know what your favorite parts are and what kind of things you like to see. So I'm still feeling my way through all this. And I do read every comment I get, and I do try to listen. I try to respond to most of them too, but I've had a couple of people just like spam several at once, and I don't always know what to say to that. Okay, just the bottom here. Then I'll think about if I want something else on the border. Maybe I'll make the border like a slightly darker color or something. Or maybe even a slightly brighter color, just to kind of offset how muted everything else is. Maybe that'll make me a little bit happier. Because I'm still not sure how I feel about this color, by the way. I just kind of had to move on to something else until I could maybe pinpoint what was bothering me. And maybe another idea would come into my head on how to improve that. Sometimes when one part is too hard, it's a good idea to just go look somewhere else for a little while, and maybe an idea will come into your head. It happens to me all the time. All the time. Oh man, having to do stuff like this just reminds me how big the canvas is, like, every time. It always feels so much bigger when I have to actually draw things than it does when I'm just, you know, derping around and zoomed out and getting all the bigger details done. Okay. So I'm gonna actually just fill this in with another color here. Let me see. No, not you. I did not mean to click there. Pain. That's gonna be slow. Okay. Oh, I don't know. I'ma just pick a color, I guess. Yeah, I'll pick the color for the jacket again, because I think it's a pretty good color. Please pick. Okay. So I got something out there, and this I can make like any color I want. And actually, I think that looks pretty good. I actually kind of do. Okay, so maybe, just maybe, I should colorize this layer a little bit. I still like it dark, but just maybe not black. And I'll see what kind of colors I think looks the best. Nah, it looked better before. Okay. It's okay. It's good to check these things. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the color for the expressions as well. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it the same color as the border here. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I'm still not sure if they're going to be red in the background. That probably won't look great with her jacket. So I'm probably going to have to pick a different one, but I'll leave it like this for now. Just because in terms of color balance, I think it looks pretty alright. Okay, and now I'm going to visit this color again. Yeah, I definitely have a little bit more wiggle room for a slightly different color. Now that I have that dark red outline there. And the purple is actually kind of working. Let me look at some other colors. I'll just go through the entire wheel here. See what I'm feeling. This does mean I will have to change the stroke color again, but you know what? That's fine. I can do that. I can do that. That's easy. Okay. So now it's going to be a slightly different color, so I better go in and pick it. There. Is that really the right one? No, I probably just accidentally picked a light one. Yeah. From the noise, because there's still noise on that line, and I think that's actually fine. I dig it. But it does mean I have to be careful when color picking. Okay, there we go. So now how about the text? If I'm gonna make it white, I should at least make it the same white as her. Instead of like the pure white I've got in there right now. But I'm not sure if white's the right choice. I don't know, how's like the purple? Nah, the white looked better. How about a pink? That's okay. I do need it to be a little bit lighter though. Oh god, I hate using the color picker, the text tool though. Can I just... I can't even do it like that. Okay, we're gonna do it in here then. I am just gonna use a color overlay here. Okay, once again, I picked the pink, but this time I can actually make it a little bit lighter. With no fuss. Okay. Let's see, do you look good with a stroke? Let's find out. I'm actually not sure what to expect here. And I will pick this color again. And we'll make you smaller. Just find the right balance there. I'm not sure what it's gonna be or if I'm even gonna like it at all, but it does make it a little bit more legible. I don't think I like the stroke. Okay, we'll take that off. What about an outer glow? What if I give you just like the little soft outer glow of everything else? No. Very no. I don't know, I kind of feel like it needs something, though. Unfortunately, my ability to do text is kind of mid at best. So... I feel like typography is probably one of my biggest weakness in graphic design, and considering that's like one of the most important things in graphic design, I struggle. Okay, let's pick a lighter color then. Oh god, that looks awful. It's okay, I'll try a few different ones. But no, it looked way better dark. And even that I just don't think looks very good. But I don't think it looks very good without it either. Maybe a shadow instead? Okay, that's not bad. So if I set you to normal and then pick my dark color here, well, you look good. Yes, okay. There we go, it just needed to be a shadow, not a stroke. Okay. And you know what? I think I'm actually reasonably happy with this. I think think I want to desaturate the background just a little bit more. Maybe darken it just a little bit more too. We'll just use that bright color on the outside. Yeah, the bright color on the outside made a huge difference. Okay, I think this looks pretty alright. I'm just thinking if there's anything I want to change or if I want to stop here and sleep on it for a night. And yeah, I think I'm pretty okay with this. So, for things to do, so I gotta do the rest of the expressions, decide if I want to add any other decorations. I don't think I do, so it'll probably just be all expressions all the time. Until I'm done. Yeah. Okay. So we should finish this up pretty soon. It's looking like I'll be finishing both the things that I'm working on fairly close to each other, which might be problematic. But no, I don't think it is. Anywho, I think I will stop here for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all tomorrow.